All right, we're good to go.
All right. Well, welcome to Freedom Friday. As you can see, I'm not Tom. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Heather Sims. I'm his sales manager, and we are in for a treat today. I had the privilege of being introduced to Mike Bjorkman by my good friend Cindy Silva at an EXP event. And what I remember most is the fact that somebody told me you learn more in the hallways than you do in the classrooms at those events. And every time I'm around Mike, I take away a golden nugget, if you will, or an aha moment. So super excited to have him here, and he's gonna chat with us about don't survive, but thrive in this upcoming market. We were just talking about that a minute ago. So with that, here's Mike Bjorkman.
What's up, guys? Good morning, and thank you for having me on. It's a beautiful Friday. I'm in Ventura, California, just south of Santa Barbara, north of Malibu. I've been in real estate since 1991. And the reason I tell you guys that is some of us that haven't been in for a long time might not know what to expect in this upcoming market with not only a national recession, but a world recession that we're coming into. We study macroeconomics a lot. That's how we judge where we're at in the markets. And I've been studying it a lot lately, and we're definitely coming into another recession. Obviously, it's already started. You guys are probably seeing it. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the indicators that we're seeing, and then we're going to talk about some of the tips and tricks to do. I wanted to tell a quick little story about, actually, there's two people on here. Number one, I had to shift in the market in 2008 and 2009, and I got into REO. And at the time, Tom Daves and I both worked at Keller Williams, and he was the #1 agent at Keller Williams, and I was like number 14, something like that. We both spoke on stage at Family Reunion and Mega Camp and all that good stuff. But the bottom line was, it was an REO convention I met Tom at. And, both of us were in a market shift, and we had to adapt. We're also very blessed. I see Brent Conley's on this call. Brent's one of my best friends in the world. He's in Carlsbad, California. I might even rely on him and ask him for some tips and tricks if we start talking about REO. When I met Brent Conley, I was actually with him in Scottsdale over the weekend. We were at a crypto conference, and Brent had 600 listings, REO listings, when I met him. So, I mean, if you guys have ever had 6 listings at a time, you know what a headache it is. Imagine 600. So it's a pretty wild ride. I want to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. I just put a real quick PowerPoint together just so I can stay on track a little bit. You guys will get to know me really quick. I'm super not real organized, and I just kind of shoot from the hip a lot. But I'll go ahead and get into this. So where I'm at today, just so you guys know, 30 years in the business. I did do a market shift in 2007. I opened up a big property management company. So I did a lot of things to diversify, and we'll talk about that later. But long story short, I just sold that company. Thank God for EXP. I was willing and able to retire, and now I just day trade, and I work with anything financial, mostly crypto. And I coach agents. I work for probably 8 of the top agents in the nation, and I don't coach the agents anymore. What I've done is retired from that, and I coach their team. So imagine if you had 20, 25 people on your team, and you're the team leader. It gets kind of confusing, and there's not a lot of time. You're more in a management position. So what I do for the agents is I train their teams individually, weekly, in group trainings. And I do it for 8 agents right now. I got a 9th coming on board, and I'm going to stop at 10 because it's not really easy to be retired if you're still working like that. So what I call this thing, let me go back to the top of this, and maybe we'll get where we're supposed to be. That was like the last slide. So what I call this is, we're going to thrive, not survive, in this coming market. And I want to talk to you guys real quick about how important it is not to bullshit yourself. Don't say, oh, it's not going to be as bad as last time. It's not going to happen. This recession isn't a thing. You might as well man and women up and understand this is happening, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just natural. Markets are cyclical, and that's just the way it is. So this will be my 4th recession going through. When I got in the business, I was 18 years old. I went through the '94 earthquake in Los Angeles, destroyed us. There was some weird market stuff in '96, '97. Obviously, in the early 2000s, we had some issues, but the biggest one was 2007. We had a slight recession in 2018. Luckily for us, Trump saved our butt, dropped the interest rates. The market shot up even more, another 30, 40%. But we were going into recession then. We did have a market shift. We did have to adapt to that market then. So here we are now in 2022. This is going to be a doozy. Heather and I were just talking about what the REO market's going to look like this time. And I do a lot of consulting for banks. We did a ton of REOs. I still do consulting for Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae. And what we did the last time as the market was shifting is we talked about pre-approved short sales. Some of you might remember B of A was doing pre-approved short sales, and so as Wells Fargo. So we got to do a lot of testing with that, and it was absolutely fantastic. Worked out really well. So this go around, we're not going to babysit listings. We're going to have occupied properties for the most part, pre-approved prices, which will be amazing, and full commission. So get ready for that. So I also call this little chat. Now you guys got to understand, this is actually a 3-day course that I do, 9 to 5 for 3 days on how to thrive in this market. So we're just going to touch on some of the things. So there's going to be a lot of stuff missing, a lot of stuff I want to say, but we don't have time for doing that. I'm going to try to pull this 3-day course off in 30 minutes. But at the end of this, I'm going to give you guys a good way so you can learn it all and catch up on everything. Let me open the chat up. I'm not sure if there's any questions. Get your shift together, baby. I love that. So, okay, cool. Yeah, so Fed will raise right another. Yeah, Brent Conley's smart. So anything he types, make sure you guys listen. So here we go. We're going to get into this a little bit. Let me see if I can find out why my slideshow is not going. So let's talk about the indicators that I'm seeing right now. And this is the same thing I saw in 2018 when the market started shifting. So here we go again. You're going to start seeing open house signs everywhere. The media frenzy is going to happen. Once the Board of Realtors start releasing their numbers, the media goes nuts. What's interesting about this particular market is now the media is going to Realtor.com, Redfin, and Zillow, and not agents anymore. So keep that in mind on how scary that is. So the media is completely relying on their data, which is huge. Like I think I told you guys, I'm looking for a house in Dallas, but the market's going down, and I don't want to buy in a market that's going down. I want to wait. Right? So you're going to hear a lot of your buyers say that too. Rentals are coming back. Since I own this property management company, we manage 600 properties. You'll see rentals coming back on the market now. People are like, I don't want to sell my house for that low. 6 months ago, it was worth $1 million. Now it's only worth 900. I'm not giving my house away. I'd rather rent it. So if you're in property management, this is the absolute best time to be in it. The agent count down where I lived, we've already lost several hundred agents in the last 6 months, which is pretty interesting. So you'll keep seeing those numbers. And just remember right now, if most agents are expressive, right? We're not real analytical. We don't really study things, but I'm going to beg you guys to study and make sure you pay attention to the data, because the agent count's another really huge thing. Lenders, you're going to start seeing lenders have no more refis, right? So they're actually picking up the phone and saying, hey, Mike, remember me? You and I did a couple of deals back in 2000 and blah. I'm back, I'm ready, and I want to pre-qualify, and I have all this marketing. So I'm getting calls a lot. And now with the latest technology, I'm getting a lot of ringless voicemail and text messages from the agent or from the lenders, which is a really good sign that they're adapted to AI. They've adapted to a lot of new technology, which is really incredible. As real estate agents, we're also digital marketers, and we're going to touch bases on that a little bit. But you see the lenders using them. New opportunities everywhere, and we're going to talk about the new opportunities. Discount brokers are fighting harder than ever. Just north of Los Angeles, we have a lot of discount brokers to help you sell. I'll sell for this one, that, and that. You're going to see this huge push right now. So you're going to start seeing full page ads and a lot of media saying, we'll sell your house for 1%. So what happens is discount brokers are not appreciated in this market. Good marketing agents are appreciated, but you're starting to see the discount broker push right now. They're going to start spending money on marketing before they get out of the business. We'll push them right out. And that's my favorite time of the year, is to get rid of all those ding dongs. Sellers are interviewing, like they're calling me right now. Hey, Mike, I'm interviewing a few agents. You want to come over and talk to me? Before that never happened, right? Like people would just list with their next door neighbor, their best friend. It didn't matter because the house would sell in 2 seconds, but now it's a lot different. More price reductions and pendings. If you look at your MLS today, I think you guys, most of you are in Sacramento. You're going to see a lot of that. Sacramento is going to have a really hard hit, kind of like Vegas, kind of like Phoenix. It's going to be interesting because what happened was a lot of people from the Bay Area fled during COVID, and they wanted to blow up Sacramento because they wanted yards. They wanted more affordable housing. They wanted to be separated from people. So there was an absolute frenzy out there, and you're going to see things slow down a lot, kind of like similar to Los Angeles market. Agents are begging for training. I'm getting more calls than ever. Mike, I need help. I want to hire you. Will you coach me one-on-one? So that's a really big deal because the agents just don't know what to do. They've never seen this market before. New loans coming out. I actually saw the old loan programs coming back. They're like Neg Am, and you could choose your payment. You could pay interest only, you could pay the full amortizer, you could pay the Neg Am, and I couldn't believe that the loans are coming out like that. When I saw stated income loans come out a year ago, I couldn't believe it. It reminded me of 2005 all over again. So you're going to see these types of things. We're going to talk about how to handle that right now. It's all about listings, right? So we talked about in the best market of best markets, we say it's all about listings. Why? Because the houses were selling immediately. You didn't have to spend any money on them. Most of those were move up buyers. So you're getting 2 deals out of 1, which is crazy. But the reason in this market, and listen very carefully, if you guys are buyer's agents, you want to focus on listings right now. I'll tell you the reason why. As the market goes down, there's a lot more inventory. So let's say Mr. and Mrs. Smith want to go see homes on Saturday. Well, last Saturday there was 2 or 3 to show them. This Saturday there's 6. Next Saturday there's 20, right? And the buyers want to see every single one of those properties. So if you're working with 3 buyers, your weekend is destroyed. You're exhausted. This is where you start carrying diapers and waters and food in your car, because you actually start to bond with buyers now. You're not meeting them at one house anymore. You're actually showing property like a real estate agent. You're probably gonna have to go out and buy a new car. You're gonna go out and get a really nice, 750 BMW or a Suburban, something comfortable to show buyers in if you want to work with buyers. I hate buyers. I won't do it. But if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right. So the problem with the listings is once you show these 20 properties, they say, okay, I think I like this one. They go home to talk about it after you wrote the offer, and lo and behold, 2 more come on the market 10 grand less. And they're like, whoa, Mike, hold on with that offer. I want to go see these other 2. This one's 10 grand less than as a pool. This one's 10 grand less than as a view. Meanwhile, that other offer's gone, and you see this vicious cycle. It never stops. And I don't mean to scare the hell out of you guys, but I just want you to be prepared for what's coming. So right now we got to talk to the sellers about how we're chasing the market down, right? There's a lot of good trainers out there. David Knox is my very favorite pricing trainer. If you don't know who David Knox is, make sure you Google him. He actually has on his website, I think it's $30 a month that you can click on. You can have all these videos. But if you Google an old David Knox video about the market going down, it's actually better because it's a third party talking about what's happening on the market. And it helps sellers understand that you don't want to chase it down. Like I just listed 2 or 3 homes this week, and I know I say I'm retired, but I can't say no to friends. But one of my friends, we were listing it at 950. And he goes at the last second, like a typical seller goes, I want to list it at 975. And I'm like, bro, like you're just going to chase the market down. He goes, well, we can always try, right? So we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. Data is key right now. Like without data, we don't have anything. Why won't my thing go? So built-in price reductions are crucial. So what I told the guy about the 975 price, I said, listen, in 7 days, if we don't have an offer, we're going to automatically reduce it to 950. And in 7 more days, we're going to automatically reduce it to 925. So agents hate having that awkward conversation with their sellers because it's brutal out there. I mean, once you have 10, 15 listings and they're all yelling and screaming at you, why isn't my house selling? It's much better to do the built-in price reductions. If you set up the stage properly, a lot of you have seen my EXP Agent Attraction Bootcamp video. And I always say, set the stage for success. And the same thing with sellers, right? You've got to tell them, look, this is going to be brutal. I'm not going to BS you. I'm not going to blow smoke. This is how it's going to be. And this is how why you're hiring me is because I'm going to walk you through this and make sure you understand exactly what's going on. So we always want to have the 3 to 5 showings chat. So I put that house on the market probably last Monday, something like that. And we had 3 to 5 showings. And it's the best price reduction script you're ever going to hear. And you're going to want to write this down. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith, the way we watch pricing on homes, the first week we put your home on the market, we got to get 3 to 5 showings. If we get 3 to 5 showings, we know my marketing is working. If we get those 5 showings, but no offers, it's an automatic guarantee we're overpriced, period. And you have to be super confident when you say that. And then you say, okay, if we don't get 3 to 5 showings, that's another indicator that we're overpriced. So you set up the stage for, if we get 3 to 5 showings, no offers, price reduction. We don't get 3 to 5 showings, price reduction. And you beat that into their head, because what's going to happen is they're going to start understanding 3 to 5 showings is a really important number to watch out for. And they love it. They will actually call you and say, Mike, we did have 4 showings this week. We didn't get an offer. Let's go ahead and reduce it if you don't have a built-in price reduction. So agents are starting to become creative, which I love, right? I had an agent call me the other day and say, hey, we're offering a 0.5% bonus if you sell this before the 1st of the month. And I'm like, wow, that was pretty creative and that's cool. And I did remember that when I was talking to some buyers, but you're going to start seeing a lot of different creative things from the agents. Bonuses. If you sell this property, I'll give you a free cruise. I forget the name of that website. I can get it to you guys. I'll put it in the chat later, but you could sign up on the website and literally give free cruises out. So you'll start seeing things like that, but the agents are going to be creative. And then what that means is you have to be creative too. Something you probably don't even know you have, reverse prospecting in the MLS, is money. That's all we ever dream about, is matching buyers to our listings. It's going to be time where we're going to have to pick up the phone, call the agents and tell them what's up. So my listings all have built-in price reduction. So I know that listing, it might be already reduced today from my assistant, but it's going from $975 to $950. If I know that price at $950 is coming, I'm not afraid to call the top producers in the area and say, hey, Joanne, just so you know, this house I have on Adriana, it actually has $25,000 worth of wiggle room in it. I just want to let you know. Oh, okay, cool. Now what's going to happen? Like, you guys got to remember, if and I always talk about $1 million price range because that's our price range where I live. So if you're searching the MLS and you start at $1 million and go to $1.5 million, you're going to miss that 975 listing, right? And then if you search backwards, you're going to miss that listing too. So that's why it's so important right now that we got to talk to the agents and make sure they know what's up. Broker opens are going to be popular again. Now it's up to you as an agent. There's 2 things you can tell the owners of the property. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, there are broker caravans and they hear about it. They see them. Don't try to hide them. They're going to know about them. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, there are broker caravans. In my experience, this is how it goes. There's about 20 homes on a broker caravan. The new beginner agents that have nothing better to do than drive around and look at properties, they're picking the listings that have the $100 drawings because they know their cell phone payments due, and there's a Subway sandwich. Those are the listings that they go to. So here we are spending money, making a mess, and you have these new beginner agents in your house just wasting our time. I don't do broker opens, right? Or flip it. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I'm going to have a broker's open. I'm going to do a $100 drawing. I'm going to have a big Subway sandwich. I'm going to bring my title company and all this stuff. We're going to make this big thing out of it. At the same time, I'm going to do a public open house and really go crazy, right? That's what I would do in this market to really impress the seller, but more importantly, impress the neighbors and get to know the agents in your area. Because right now, every agent is so crucial. It's not even funny. These people are like, right now, like, we're all cocky, right? We put a listing on, we're like, oh, hey, Tom Days. Yeah, I like you, but I got 20 offers. No, now it's like, oh my God, please sell the property. What can I do? I'll come over and cook you dinner. Da, 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 da. So the better your reputation as an agent, the more important that is. We talk about the discount brokers. There's going to be a push in the next 6 months to a year where discount brokers are going to compete with you. And now it's more important than ever to know your pricing and your commission scripts, right? Mr. and Mrs. Smith, if you can only imagine that person is only going to charge 1%, you're in a market that is absolutely demanding the best marketing ever. We have to get agents and buyers excited about this property. And what does that entail? Marketing, money, digital marketing. So if you list with that discount broker, they're not going to do anything to sell their house, because when that house is sold, that's their only profit off that. So if you think they're going to dip into their profit to market your property, you're crazy. Now, remember, without the marketing, your home's going to sell in over 30 days. What happens after 30 days, Mr. and Mrs. Smith? The average price range across the country, negotiation range, is 3 to 5%. We're only trying to save 2% here, and you're going to risk 3 to 5% by listening with a discount broker. Those are the types of conversations you guys are going to have. It's really crucial and important. Sellers looking at comps daily. Now, when I first got in the market, we didn't have the MLS. We had DOS. Like, it was literally periods and dashes and lockboxes with actual keys. So we didn't have the beauty of having the sellers set up to where every time a home within a mile radius comes on the market, they get emailed. But now it's more important than ever that you actually look at those emails, you go look at the house, you actually look at the lot size, look at the upgrades, and you reply back to the seller. Hey, Mr. Smith, this house is actually 200 square feet bigger. It's on a cul-de-sac with the view and a pool and RV parking. We don't have half of those things. We have to beat this person. We have to reduce now, because based on the comparables, these two homes are going to sell before yours. And you have to be confident and real powerful when you're talking to them. Most agents, when this market comes, they're like, I don't want listings. No way. That's scary. All I do is get yelled at all day. But when you show them that you're the boss and you are the professional and you have more information and you're going to really do the things that matter, they will listen to you. But they want a strong leader in this market, just so you know. So they're looking at the comps daily, you're looking at the comps daily, and you're communicating all day long with these people. Excuse my dog's barking. Some of these listings, I mean, some of these sellers, they will call you 2-3 times a day. Because when they get frustrated and they want to move somewhere, or they have to move somewhere, it's crazy. Next thing is be the best presenter and get your marketing together, you guys. It's so important. I was actually working on some marketing yesterday. So guilt gifts, if you never heard of a guilt gift, it's more important now than ever to when you bring to a listing, you're going to be competing against 5 agents. You guys have to understand that. Never think that it's in the bag. Never think that you went to high school with this person, they're your best friend, they would never list with somebody else, because they're so concerned. If a powerful agent like me comes in behind you and shows really good marketing and proves it to them, you're blown away. Like, so here's some of the guilt gifts. I think here's one. So this is a really nice, got my business card in there, and it's a really nice corkscrew, right? Some of the other things I use, I order these 250 at a time. They're just Team Bjorkman Yeti cups, right? And they got my name on it. So you go, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, thank you so much for having me over. Just to show you how much I appreciate you, I just wanted to bring you a few little gifts before we get started with the marketing. Start that bond. Make sure you understand their personality style. What are they? Are they expressive? Are they, drivers? Are they analytical? Are they amiable? What are they? And you're going to need to know. What I do know is everybody likes a gift. And you kind of get that uncomfortable feeling when you get a gift from a stranger or somebody that you're not with all the time. And that makes you go, I kind of owe it to them, right? So that's what you want to do. So I have, really nice folders made out, say Team Bjorkman, and we put our listing presentations, we drop these off. Pre-listing packages are more important than ever, you guys. What happens is a powerful agent like me comes in, they say, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, based on the marketing I showed you, do you feel comfortable and confident that I'm the right agent for you? They go, absolutely. Great. Do you have any other listing appointments planned? Yes, I have 2 more interviews. Great. Give me their number. I'd love to call. I'll go ahead and cancel the appointment down. Let them know, let them down easy. And I'll make sure they know the price, condition, and anything else creative we're doing. And they go, oh yeah, because they don't want to call the agent and say, sorry, I listed with someone else. So they're like, sure, Mike, call. So be the best presenter. I think I might even be able to show you. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so we're working on it right now. We have this really big, can you guys see that? Can I have a head shake? Okay, so we have pre-listing packages, and we have normal listing presentations, but I like a smaller one because I will send out 500 of these at a time, and they're like $1.50 a piece. So I'm trying to cut down pages to make it less expensive. So you just have a nice listing presentation, talk to you about yourself, about your marketing, like virtual tours and drone and Matterports. All these things matter now. My listing presentation is designed for all personalities. The expressive loves it because it's colorful and there's pretty pictures and everything. The drivers like it because it's short, quick, to the point. Analyticals like it because I show them how much marketing we're going to do. And the amiables like it because they're like, oh, there's pictures of them, it's cute. And oh, they talk about how much they're going to hold our hands, a bunch of crap, but it's psychological, right? NLP is everything. If you guys aren't studying NLP, make sure you're doing it right now. So we just kind of go through, we talk about our Commissions Inc., our YLOPO, and just, the whole thing is we do things that other agents can't or won't do, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. We spend a lot of money, a lot of time on marketing. We put things like this on purpose, Zillow, Trulia, things like that, because we know they're going to go there anyways. So we might as well talk to them about how we have partnerships with these. I could blow any person out of the water with just my showing time presentation, like just little things that make such a difference. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I'm so confident in my ability to help you make the decision that I'm the right agent. I actually give them 21-point checklist so you can ask your agent before listing your home. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, hold on to this. Don't lose it. When you're interviewing an agent, these are the questions you need to ask. And if they don't have answers to all these questions, that's why I wrote it. I already know the answers. I already do all these things, and they're very grateful for that. So we just continue with these questions. So I'm actually interviewing them while they're interviewing me. So if they get it before, hopefully these questions will make them keep the appointment, the listing appointment. And I'll always make sure you guys are always confirming, if your appointment's on Friday and it's a Monday, hey, I'm just calling to make sure you got the package I left on your doorstep. Okay, good. Make sure you go through that before I get there. It's absolutely important. It'll save us an hour's worth of time if you look at that, and then you're going to know what questions to ask me. And then I'll confirm on Thursday. Just so you know, I'll be there tomorrow. If I'm there a few minutes early, would that be okay? And then, I just say something like that to keep them engaged. And they're like, yeah, totally. So these are the kinds of things we drop off. I don't want to go down that rabbit hole too much. We can go over a lot of that stuff later. Where is my... Wow, that was easy. All right, so you guys get that? Marketing, presenting is everything. If you don't know how to do a listing appointment, you need to get an accountability group and a coach and practice and practice and practice. You screw up a listing presentation, it took you an hour to prepare for it, an hour to get there and back, plus an hour sitting there. You're wasting 3 or 4 hours of your life. You might as well kick ass at it. You know what I mean? Be in their face and on their team. So when you go to a listing appointment, believe it or not, the sellers are wanting to fight you right off the bat, right? Your price is going to be too low. Your commission is going to be too high. Your length of the contract is going to be too long. So they're already, so when you get to the listing appointment, when you talk to them on the phone, make sure, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, we're on the same team. We're just here to get the home sold at the highest price in the quickest amount of time. I can't do this without you. You can't do this without me. Understand this is a very tight relationship. In my opinion, it's the tightest relationship next to marriage because we're going to talk every day. We rely on each other. Truth, honesty, integrity, all these things are going to come to play, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. You understand we're on the same team. Those are powerful words that'll blow people away because no other agent has never even dreamt of saying that to somebody. So when I say be in their face all the time. Most agents in this market go, well, I talked to them on Friday. It's only Wednesday. I guess it hasn't been that long. Because what are you going to do? You're going to call them up and say, yeah, I know your house isn't sold. And they're going to yell at you. And they're going to say the same thing as they did last week. You told me last week to do a price reduction. You're absolutely right. And I'm going to tell you again next week. Like, be in their face, be loud, proud, and make sure they understand that you're in control and you're helping them. But that way they never fight you and they never think about firing you. Creative seller financing and bonuses. This is something you guys probably haven't thought about in a while, but you got to remember, most of your clients have 2.5% interest rates on their home. There's plenty of people that are willing to go ahead and transfer that loan to that new buyer. It's called an AITD, all-inclusive trust deed, subject to land contracts. These are very important phrases and things that you guys need to learn, because if you can say, hey, I just listed this house for $975 with a 20 or 30% down payment, you can take over their loan of 2.5%. Now, when interest rates are 7%, if you could have a 40% less payment, would you be willing to pay $975 full price for that home? Hell yeah, right? Showing 10 homes and one has a 1% commission bonus, you bet you're going to put that. Even you're going, they really want a pool. This house doesn't have a pool, but it's got 1% bonus. I'm putting it in there, right? Those types of things work. So the more creative you get and the more bonuses and fun things that you have for the agents and the general public, the seller's gonna be like, wow, you're doing things that other agents can't or won't. Important. All right, so buyers suck. I hate buyers with a passion. How much time do I have, Heather?
You have, where are we? Oh,
8:30.
it's 9:30. Eric, is it the Freedom Friday usually go 9:30 or later?
Yeah, 9:30. I mean, maybe try to get towards the end, wrap it up, and see if there's any questions.
Yeah, we're only halfway through this, you guys. I apologize. I thought we had an hour for some reason. I'll just blow through this, and then I can send this to you, drop this to you, or I can help you guys one-on-one, whatever. Commitment now with buyers contracts. You guys probably haven't been working with a lot lately. It's going to be the most important thing. And I have tons and tons of live buyer training on my YouTube channel you guys can watch, and in different ways to get them to sign a buyer broker agreement. Comps are everything for buyers right now. It's super important when you meet with a buyer, you sit down with the comparables in the neighborhoods and areas they're looking at before you show them even one house. They have to understand that homes are average price over average negotiation is maybe 1 to 3%, not 10 to 20%, right? Because they're going to come in and write these ridiculous lowball offers. And if you don't set them up with comps ahead of time and tell them, look, this is where you're going to need to be, it's not going to work. Come on, baby, let's go. Be in their face, just like the sellers. You have to be in their face all day, every day, because like the seller, they want to know what you're doing to find them a house. They're getting emails from Zillow, Redfin, 14 other agents and you, and they're getting 20 of them a day. It's overwhelming. The inventory grows so fast. 20, 30 listings a day is not uncommon in this market, right? So we're gonna have a market that's gonna, quadruple or maybe 5 times higher than it was last summer. So get ready for that. Always tell them what you're doing. 3 to 5 homes chat, right? This is the most famous Mike Ferry chat there is. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, I am a market specialist. I look at 10 to 20 homes a day. I preview property all day, every day. You told me what you want, what you need. I'm going to pick the very 5 best homes. So you don't have to go see them all. I'm going to go see them for you. And then from these 3 to 5 homes, we're going to show them to you in order. We're going to show you the one I think you should buy first, right? Or, it depends on how you like to. I like to show the best one first, and I tell them everything from here is going to go downhill. Don't expect it to get better, but I'm going to ask you to write an offer on one of these 3 to 5 homes. So that's very important. Previewing property is money, you guys. We're going to talk about schedules and some other stuff later on, but previewing property a couple hours a day is, oh my God. If you don't want to show property for 8 hours a day on Saturday to a buyer and you want to knock it down to truly 3 to 5 homes, you better be previewing property. Don't work with people that want to buy houses, work with people that have to buy houses. Probably the best advice I can give you. In the beginning of the market, you're like, I still need to work with buyers. Trust me, just start the practice right now. Only work with people that have to buy. Door openers are the most important thing you can do also. I pay $25 a door for an agent that doesn't know what they're doing just to open the door. And this is their script. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. Mike Bjorkman is out looking at other properties and negotiating for you right now. He's asked me to let you in this property. And I've already set them up for that. And they start asking questions. And if they answer any questions, they're stupid because I told them not to. They say, I'm just the door opener. I have a license, but I'm just the door opener. Don't ask me questions. That's what your agent's for. That'll save you hours and hours and hours a week. Even if you're a buyer's assistant or buyer's agent now, still spend the money for door openers. There's no reason why you can't have your own team, even if you're on a team. Make sure you know all those loan programs, because those loan programs are the difference between selling a home or not. They might be looking at a 30-year fixed at 7% interest rate, but if you can talk to them and say, do you plan on staying here more than 3 to 5 years? That's the average time a Californian stays in their house. And they say about 3 to 5 years. Why don't we look at a 7-year ARM? You can save $500 a month on your payment or buy a house in a neighborhood that's even nicer and better than what you're looking for. So anytime you can get creative, try to assume loans, those types of things, those are what buyers need and want right now. And if you're too busy to learn this stuff, you're going to lose buyers left and right to people like me that are willing to do things that other agents can or won't. ISA is crucial right now too. You're going to want to have, like most of you guys have Ylopo or Commission Sync or whatever you guys are using, but you have literally 25,000 leads in a database. You don't have the time anymore if you're a buyer's agent, because you are legitimately showing property 8 to 10 to 12 hours a day. So an ISA is going to be more important than ever now. And training other agents how to deal with this market too is really important. Help them understand what an AITD is. Because when you call and say, hey, does your seller have a really cool interest rate we can assume? The lazy agents are like, no, we just want to sell it normally. No, dude, they got a 3% fixed interest rate. If my buyers can get that, I'm sure they buy the house today. Do you want to put this deal together with me or not? Oh, I never thought of that. Okay. And then you put deals together. You start doing things that you never thought were possible. So it's super fun. So we could talk about that a little bit. We can go through open house training. I'll show you on a different slide. We have so much stuff we can go through here, but I'll if you guys want to work with me one-on-one, you can, but write this down, Mike Bjorkman training. So when I owned a HomeSmart office, I had 300 agents, you guys, and five offices. And I had agents asking me all the time. So what I started doing is training and recording it. So all these classes, there's over 150 hours of training on here. And as a special bonus for you guys, if you see this titanium agents, that's 35 one-hour videos of me and my friends role-playing agent attraction. If you want to get blown away and if you want to start hiring a crap ton of agents, watch these 35 videos. It goes through recruiting massive brokers, recruiting normal agents. It doesn't matter. All the role play that you've always been scared to have is live on those videos. It's unbelievable. So have fun in there. And I guess like there's so much more I wanted to share with you guys, but time flies. You know how that goes. I really apologize, but hopefully that was enough tidbits and information to get you excited about this market. There's going to be a lot of changes coming on. Tom is one of the best leaders in the world. You guys are so blessed to have him as leadership. I'm always available for you. Brent, thank you for being on this call. I'll work with you later on the rest of that class. There's so much going on out there, guys. So if you have any questions, I'm totally open and I have some more time, so you can go ahead and ask. And if you need to go, feel free.
That was
So,
awesome. Awesome.
thank-
Awesome. Who has a question? Like there's so much content in that. Thank you, Mike. Like, always a pleasure. Who has a question? Any questions? Just go ahead and unmute yourself.
and it's
Do
really
you want
easy
to
get a hold
put
of
in the
guys.
chat how to get a hold of you, Mike?
Yeah, that was what I was just gonna do. It's super easy.
Okay.
At Mike Bjorkman is pretty much everywhere and everything. That's like-
ISA Inside Sales Associate.
that's the yeah. There you go. Somebody who makes cold calls for
Makes
you to
phone
pick
call.
up buyer and seller leads out of your database. I'll put my email in here if you guys want that too. But I would lean
know.
heavily on Tom, you guys, because Tom has been in this business a long time, and there's not a better person to teach you REO and short sales. He really knows his stuff. He hasn't talked about it in a very long time, but it's about time for you guys to start asking those types of questions. He knows everybody in the business and can really, really change your life when it comes to selling homes. So that's it for me. If you guys don't have any
Love it.
questions, awesome.
Love it. Thank you so much. Now that we all have our inspiration, let's go put in the perspiration, as Tom would say, right?
All right, you
All
guys
right,
have a
thanks,
good rest
guys.
of your meeting. If you need me, just look me up. I'm always available.
Thanks,
When is the
Mike.
next, Mike, when is the next opportunity other than just jumping on your videos?
So
When is the next opportunity to,
So the next
jump on a call with you.
opportunity, then to work with me is easy. You can just call me. I'll help you out for free. But the next opportunities really are REO, short sales, property management, and loans, right? Getting creative with loans. So there's no reason if you have a house that's willing to transfer a 3% loan, you should be getting paid for that. Loan modification company I had before. Lowering people's taxes is another good side hustle right now. So you have all these things. Like when the market goes down, everybody's gonna be like, I paid $1 million for this house. It's worth 500. I'm paying taxes on $1 million. Don't worry, pay me a couple grand. I'll make sure to negotiate that for you. So side hustles are really important right now. If it wasn't for my property management company, if it wasn't for meeting people like Tom and Brent and getting into REO, if it wasn't for learning short sales, I mean, I went through a Chapter 11 bankruptcy in 2010, you guys. Chapter 11 bankruptcy means you have more than $1 million in debt. I was making $2 million a year. When the market changed, sales went down 50%, prices went down 50%. That's a net of a 75% reduction in your income. So you better get ready. So thank God I did property management, REO, short sales, loan mods. That's how I was able to make it through that recession. Most agents never made it. They're still working at Target and Verizon and Amway or whatever. I mean, it's terrible what happened to those poor people. So I'm praying and hoping that you guys don't let that happen to yourself. And I'm definitely here for you if you need me. Okay.
awesome.
Thank
All right. Have a
you.
good one, guys. Take care.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.